Hi and welcome to Cosmic Consciousness with Cassia. On this channel we discuss all aspects of the awakening process. I have a variety of different services that I do offer to assist you in your ascension journey, and you can find those listed in the description box below. Today we're going to be doing a reading for Taurus, and this is going to be Taurus, Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising signs. I'm being drawn to use the Black Moon Astrology cards, so those are what we're going for first here. Trying to get better at always showing these decks when they come out, and I just want to make sure that these are adequately shuffled from last time I used them. Yes. Yeah. So as I said, Taurus, Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising. This is a general reading. It's not going to resonate with everyone. Don't stretch it to fit. Check out your other placements as well. If you don't know what those are, go to a website such as astro.com and they will generate a chart for you with your birth information. All right, Taurus, August 2020. Ooh, first card out, fire element, desire. You guys are on fire right now. You are making moves. You are ready to put yourselves out there in the world. You are realizing what it is you want, and you're getting ready to go after it. Or you guys, you are going after it, right? I'm going to try not to be too biased in this reading. I am a Taurus sun myself. So a Taurus sun cusping on Gemini. So like I'm feeling that. I'm feeling that energy too. Like I love all of my Taurians. We're just like raring to go right now, right? So much passion, so much fire, and I'm being told to caution, I'll say us all, right? About not allowing ourselves to burn out. Right? Like Taurus, when we know that we want something, we set our sights on a goal and we start moving forward towards that goal, and we do not stop until we accomplish it. But like sometimes you got to stop. You got to take a little bit of a rest. It doesn't mean we have to move backwards, but take that little bit of a rest so that we can keep going. Like care for ourselves during that process. We've got this Mars and Aries energy. We've got Mars about to go retrograde. We got Chiron retrograde in Aries right now. Like so much going on in this fire element, in this fire energy. We're at the tail end of Leo season, right? Mercury just came out of Leo. All of this fiery energy and just that fire that's been lit and ignited within us that's really pushing us to succeed. But it's like, take that time to breathe as well. Take that time to recharge and reboot. Taurus is a sign that is governed. We're a very physical sign. We're very physically affected by energy. Everything manifests physically for us, as well as emotions and stress. So we really want to be careful about this, and we really want to utilize nature, right? Taurus has a deep connection with the earth and with nature, so really allowing Mother Nature to care for us as we're going through this process as well. And then we have Mercury retrograde, reinvention. And so I'm really loving this. We do have a Mercury retrograde coming up, not too soon, but we do have one more coming up for 2020. But I'm not necessarily I'm feeling just the energy of this reinvention energy. Like Taurus is really reinventing themselves. And this is significant sometimes for Taurus. Taurus can be that sign where, and this is general, it's going to depend on whatever else you have in your chart, but this aspect is within us, where once we decide that we know who we are and what we want, it's really hard to get us to change our minds about that. And so Taurus is in this period of really shedding all these layers of like, you know what? That's actually not who I am. That's actually not what I want. And I'm ready to go after what it is that I really want. And I'm ready to find out who I really am. Even if I don't 100% know, I'm willing to figure that out. And I'm willing to go through that process of trial and error to figure out who that person is. And that's absolutely beautiful. And that is epic energy for a sign that does not like change. So like give ourselves a pat on the back for that. And then we have the 7th house, partners, as well as the lunar eclipse, change. And so for some, I'm getting the sense that this may have to do, there may be changing partnerships as well, as we're reinventing ourselves and realizing that we're not really resonating with the person that we used to be. There's going to be this period where the people in our lives, like some of those relationships are going to change and fall apart, because as we're growing and changing, we're moving out of resonance and vibration with certain people. For some people, this is changing partnerships when it comes to business as well. There may be situations where you thought that you had a partnership with someone in a business sense and it wasn't working out, and that's changing altogether and you're switching that up, or you're reinventing the way that you do business. You're reinventing the way that you do business in general, and also with possibly specific people that you were partnered with, and possibly bringing in new partners as well. New business partners, new romantic partners, just new, just all that new, all the way around for us, which is so beautiful, but it can be a little bit scary, right? I do offer personal readings and energy healings, and the energy healings especially, I encourage everyone to reach out for, because they can be so helpful with moving past a lot of this stuff, with opening up that energy even more, opening up that heart energy to help you to be ready to receive all these blessings, really helping to solidify and empower, letting us to release what no longer serves us, those aspects of ourselves that we no longer identify with. And then we have North Node, Life's Purpose. Boom. Right there. And the Taurus card I have. And so this is, and then on the bottom of the deck we have South Node, Life's Debris. So it's like, and Mars under that. So we'll get to that. So this is it. This is, these changes that are coming through as we are reinventing ourselves, as we are opening up to embrace all of this beautiful change, we are stepping more deeply and more securely into our life's purpose. And with the Taurus card, this is the I have card, right? Like Taurus is ruled by Venus. Taurus is, as we said, the most manifested and earthy of all the signs, right? So Taurus is the sign that would represent money, right? So with the Life's Purpose and the Taurus I have card next to it, I'm feeling for a lot of us that as we step further and further into our life's purpose, that money continues to grow. We are absolutely going to experience more abundance as we allow ourselves to step more deeply into our life's purpose. And there may be people out there who are struggling with that a little bit, struggling with sort of these financial worries, right? Like Taurus likes to be financially secure. We like to be comfortable. We like to have all the nice things, right? Like we don't like to go without. We like to have a plan. We like everything to be stable. And so there may be a little bit of instability with all of this change, right? With all of this reinvention. And that may be a little bit scary. So this is just like really centering in, and this is a test of faith for some of us, of those of us who say, like, I understand that as I step into my mission, Spirit will support me. I understand that the universe is abundant, right? Like Spirit's like, all right, now put your money where your mouth is. Like you guys can see me doing this live on this channel, attempting to do this and be like, okay, I trust you. I'm stepping into my purpose. I'm dedicating my life to my purpose. Now, like, let's see how this works out. Like we are partnering with Spirit right now, partnering with the universe. And that partnership is going to yield such incredible dividends. Let me tell you guys right now. I can absolutely feel that. But if there are some of those worries about finances, about stability, about different things like that, just know that like what's going on right now is so much bigger than that. And that is not, if I know my fellow Taurians out there, like we don't do anything half-assed and we don't do anything unprepared. So you have prepared adequately for this moment. You are ready. The time is now. Like if there's been anything, if you've been wondering and trying to seek your life purpose and you don't know what that is, continue with this energy of reinventing yourself. Allow your passions and your desires to guide you, and you will absolutely find it. And when you find it, you're then being called to live it. So yes, we have this. We have the South Node as well. So it's like this bouncing back and forth too, I feel like, between like energies that we're comfortable with, right? Because that's the South Node, is like the energies that we're that we're most comfortable in, that we've mastered from our past lives, and then the North Node, which is what's new, what we're striving toward now, what our soul came here wanting to accomplish and wanting to learn. And so, like, these energies are very foreign, right? We don't really know how to navigate them necessarily because we've never done it before. And so we're being called to step into the unknown, to step into that place, to step into the things and the roles that we've never played before, that we've never known before, that we've never done before. And believe me when I say, when you do this, you will benefit astronomically, but it's going to be scary. We're feeling that push-pull between the old life and the new life, between the old me and the new me, right? These different expressions of ourselves, these different experiences of ourselves, these old ways that we identify and these new ways, the ego and the soul. It's like this back and forth dynamic. And yeah, I mean, that experience can be very intense. So a lot of us are kind of teeter-tottering with that right now. But our life's purpose is calling to us. And it's also calling us to release everything that's no longer a match for us, and to release everything that we're holding on to. Anything from this lifetime, anything from past lifetimes that's holding us back, to resolve any karma that needs to be resolved so that we can step forward into all of these blessings that are coming our way. And like this also, like, not to incur any more karma that we don't want, any more karma that's not beneficial, right? Because karma isn't always bad. Karma is balance. Karma is the energy we put out coming back. So if we're putting out good energy, that's beautiful karma to receive back. But we want to make sure that that's what we're pushing out or putting out. And then we have Mars force right after that. So this is like that Mars energy, like we're talking about with the fire card, with the desire card. This energy of Mars and Aries right now, of blazing that path, like that energy of being ready to go, of being really committed, really passionate, really driven, wanting to succeed. And so with this life stats and this, what we were just talking about, this is like, make sure that as we are moving forward, we're not taking those horns and just bulldozing right over people, because that's not the way to go. Like, there may be situations where we have to exert force to a certain extent in order to get the things that we need, in order to, like, there may be situations where we're asked to exert force, but we're not being asked to do that in a way that is like overbearing or is harming people. There's a way to do that in a way that is compassionate and is loving and is strong without being too overly forceful. Like, we're being called to learn how to use our force and to really know our own strength. Like, sometimes I think that people underestimate Taurus and they don't understand how incredibly strong Taurus is, because Taurus is a very loving and a very loyal sign, right? And a sign that will stick by, like, we will stick by people to the bitter ends just because of that sense of loyalty, right? And so I think that's part of the South Node life's debts as well, is like understanding that there is a time when it's okay to accept change, and it's okay to leave people in situations that are no longer fulfilling for us, if that is what we're being called to do. So there may be these times where we're being asked to step up, and we're having to determine how to do that in a way that's not harming anybody else, including ourselves. How to use that force. This is also bringing me back to the stamina, right? Mars is our stamina. It's our drive. And so really taking care of ourselves, bringing that back so that we don't fizzle out. We absolutely do not want to fizzle out right now. We want to continue to move forward strongly. Any more cards for Taurus? Yeah, destiny. That's what we're moving towards. And so these events, this is what we were talking about with this forceful energy. Some of these events that are pushing us into our destiny may be challenging. There may be other people coming at us forcefully. And so we have to decide how to navigate those situations. If we are in that sense of like getting ready and wanting to reinvent ourselves, wanting to move forward, wanting to take risks, but we're not quite comfortable doing it yet, we may be forced to by external circumstances. This change is going to happen whether we like it or not. So it's like, are we able and ready to flow with that change? Or are we going to try to fight against it? Yeah. But destiny is calling. Destiny is calling us. Are you ready to answer, Taurus? And then on the bottom of the deck, we have the 4th house roots. So a lot of us thinking about this. The 4th house is our childhood. It's our sense of stability. It's our foundation. It's our early foundation, and then it's the foundation that we build for ourselves. And so Taurus is really, Taurus is always thinking about that, right? But like really thinking about that. And like this card for me right now, I'm also feeling as like ancestors. So your ancestors coming through and wanting to support you. And some of these life's debts and stuff as being ancestral debts that have been paid as well. Like karma that we took on and we're clearing for our ancestors. Stuff like that. But I'm just feeling, a lot of ancestral healing going on right now as we step into our power, empowerment, as we sort of break through any of those molds, any of those barriers that were keeping us stuck and move forward. Like there's so much support coming through for Taurus from their ancestors. And you can absolutely reach out to them for guidance, for strength moving forward, and they will be there for you, supporting you. Like they're already standing behind you in the spiritual realm. For some Tauruses may want to start looking up their lineage. There may be interesting stuff there. There may be stuff in your lineage from this lifetime or from past lifetimes. You know, that past life energy keeps coming up as well. I feel like we are building our foundation, but part of that foundation is also calling back those aspects of ourselves from past lifetimes. And our ancestors, for some of you guys, your ancestors have wisdom for you as far as how to do that, or want to assist you in that process of calling back some of those aspects of your soul, of that, from that soul retrieval process. And so if you want to sit down and you want to meditate with them, you want to light a candle for them, you want to honor them. If you know some of your ancestors in this lifetime, or you want to track down those ancestors, they may have stories to tell you, they may have wisdom, they do have stories to tell you, they do have wisdom to offer you. But you can do this in prayer and meditation as well. And just see, my nose is getting so itchy right now, I apologize, this happens sometimes when I channel. Just see what wisdom and knowledge they have for you that they're waiting to share with you. And yeah, that's really cool that that's coming through. They have so much for you. They have so much for you. And I'm feeling too, this year Halloween is going to be incredibly intense astrologically. That day, I want to say, is it the full moon? There's a major aspect being made to Uranus retrograde. I believe that's the full moon, but it's going to be a super intense night, and I'm feeling that for some of you guys because the veil is so thin between this world and the next. Really being a time to sit down and honor those ancestors and see, like, they can, through that portal, during that night, that day, in that energy, communicate with you so deeply. And that some of you may be receiving transmissions from your ancestors during that time, or any time really. Like, invite that energy, invite them in, see what they have to teach you, and what they have to offer you, and what they have to remind you about yourselves. And then on the bottom of the deck here we have Pisces, I believe. And then, as I was saying, remind you about yourself, Sagittarius, I see. So, have faith in your dreams. Believe in yourselves. Believe in all of the goodness that Spirit has to offer you, because it is absolutely there. You guys are so beautiful and so powerful. And I'm going to pull one of these cards for you as well. We're going to do, I got in the mood with the ancestors, with all the talk of ancestors, with the Roots card, the Mystical Shaman Oracle. And we're going to see what this has to say. We're going to pull a card for Taurus for August from the Mystical Shaman Oriole. Oracle. See what these energies have to say for my beautiful, beautiful Taurians. August 2020, Taurus. Let's be clear here. Thank you. Standstill. Interesting. So this card is about taking that time to breathe, taking that time, like we were talking about, with the taking care of your energy and not pushing too hard, too fast, and making sure to pace ourselves, right? And they're like, for some of you guys, you may be feeling all of this energy building, all of this momentum building, and you may even be feeling like you're putting in a lot of work and you're not seeing a whole lot of results. And do not get frustrated about that. That's the calm before the storm, and you want that calm to be able to really anchor in, to really be able to center, to prepare for what's coming next, because there is so much coming. So take that opportunity. If you feel like you're being blocked for some reason, just allow that to be, just surrender that, and take that time to really center in, to really ground, to really connect with yourself, with nature, everything that we've been talking about. And just know that those pauses are there for a minute, and there's going to be a time where you wish you had the downtime that you have now. You're going to be really grateful for what's manifesting in your life, but you're going to wish that you had that downtime. So just take that and appreciate that while you have it. Okay. So that was just, oh yeah, we're only at 20 minutes. We got plenty of time to pull a couple more cards. You know me, I like to go deep with you guys, and really, like, we go hard here. We get as much information as possible. I'm not trying to, like, let's just keep going with this and see what else comes out for my Taurians. Taurus. Any other messages? Whew. Okay. We have completion, and we have soul retrieval. Like we were just talking about. That is beautiful energy. So we have these cycles, like we talked about, that are completing these major life cycles, these karmic cycles, these cycles that we're also completing for our ancestors as well. And as we close out these cycles, we are then, because of what we've learned, because of the upgrade to our energy, as we release all of that old energy and welcome in that new energy, we're then automatically retrieving pieces of our souls as well. We talked about how the ancestors may be assisting with some of this, but this is also a process that's just happening naturally as we continue to grow and to shift and to complete all of these old cycles, to really close those out. And that's the other thing, is like, we don't want to cut corners here. If we're closing out a cycle, we want to close it out for good. We don't want to leave anything up in the air. We don't want to leave, like, we want to tie all the strings, right? I forget there's something with the strings, that there's a metaphor there, or a saying that I'm not getting right now, but you know what I'm talking about. Don't want any loose ends. That's what I was trying to say. We don't want to leave any loose ends. We want to really complete these cycles. And part of completing them is not going back again. Like if there's an old habit, an old job, an old relationship, whatever it is that we know is no longer for us, don't go back to that again, either with that same person or situation or job, or with a different manifestation of it. Like, in order to truly close out these cycles, we have to close them out in all aspects. Not just in that one specific scenario, but all together. And that we have to be willing to energetically let that go as well. That's part of that. We can let something go in the physical, but that doesn't mean we've energetically released it. And until we've energetically released it, that cycle cannot complete. If you need assistance with this, please reach out for a healing. It can be so helpful with these things, with releasing soul contracts, with releasing, really cutting cords, right? Releasing all of these energies. Really just purifying and getting to that point of deeper clarity and deeper healing. So yes, reach out to me for that. But yeah, we have to let things complete in all ways. And as they complete, some of these cycles, as long as we were still caught up in these old cycles and sort of repeating some of these behaviors, some of these aspects of our soul weren't ready to return yet. because they didn't feel safe returning. We didn't feel safe accessing that part of ourselves. And so when we complete that, we're then able to access that piece of ourselves because it feels more at home. The more we move into our truest vibration, the more at home all aspects of our soul feel, because we're moving into more of our soul's full essence. And so that naturally attracts all those pieces and all those aspects back to us. And it happens so absolutely effortlessly. Yes. Completion suggests the fullness of the moment and the need to transform an old form into a new one. Yes. You have finished a cycle and there is no more growth or benefit from hanging on to the old. In regard to relationships, it's time to honor what has been and find a new form for the future. In your ventures, it is time to reap your harvest. Completion is a time for celebration. It is the end of summer when the fruit is ripe. And how perfect is that for an end of August reading, right, you guys? Yes. And then I'm just going to skim over the soul retrieval here. Soul retrieval is a practice that helps you recover a part of yourself, your energy, your enthusiasm, or your innocence that you have lost. At first, we'll use soul retrieval to recover from our hurts and heal our childhood wounds. Later, we learn to journey to recover our original nature, right? Like we were just talking about. That self that never left the Garden of Eden, who still speaks to the rivers, to the trees, and to God. When we return to Eden, we are whole again. You are no longer fragmented. You are one with creation. You have healed the cause of the pain you feel. Completion. So you do not need to dwell on it any longer, releasing it energetically as well. Really, it's true. If you are still hovering over an old wound, find a new flight path. Don't be distracted with the little stuff you've already mastered. Go for the big one, the journey back to Eden. Enough said, right, guys? So I hope that you enjoyed this reading for the end of August. If you liked this video, please give it a like, drop a comment if it resonated, subscribe if you haven't yet, click the bell with the little squigglies so that you can get notified about more videos. As I said, reach out to me if you want a personal reading and energy healing. I also do personalized Ascension transit charts if you're interested in that. All of that different information is down in the description box below. I love you all so very, very much. I hope that you have a wonderful end of August. I'm so excited for this new cycle that we're all embarking on. Like, really harness that Mars energy, that fire energy, and just pace ourselves, right? Pace yourself, but follow your desire, follow your passion, and follow where it's leading you. And just know that you are absolutely fully supported by me, by spirit, by your ancestors, every step of the way. I'll talk to you guys soon.